This is deeply unsettling. Black South Africans are being turned against fellow Africans by a false and misleading narrative that Africans are invading South Africa.
But this time, what makes it even more difficult a fight is that it's oppression and an invasion by people who look like us.
There is no historical basis for such a claim. At no point have African nationals demanded a portion of South African land to establish their own independent state within South African borders. At the same time, there are white-led foreigners fighting against black-led government, pushing for the Western Cape to break away into a separate white-led state within South African borders.
What we're looking to create in the Western Cape is an ideological homeland for people who think like us, people who have broadly Western values, who want to live in the first world, and want to and I've often used the example, the Western Cape becomes almost like Israel for the Jews, if I can use that example.
That is a real direct form of invasion. Yet movements like March and Operation Doodler campaigns remain strikingly silent on this. Cape independence presents a far more concrete form of invasion, yet it does not provoke the same outrage from those vigilante who claim to defend the nation of South Africa. "We want our country back" is the rallying cry of vigilante groups such as March and Operation Doodler hooligans masquerading as patriots. But that demand raises a critical question. They want their country back from whom? That is a question that requires a clear and honest answer, because the historical record is undeniable. This country was taken by force under colonial rule. Documented history, land ownership patterns, and the structure of the economy all reflect that reality. More than 80% of the land remains in the hands of descendants of colonizers, and close to 90% of the economy is still controlled within that same framework. Yet despite these realities, many South Africans are being led to believe that African migrants are responsible for the loss of land and economic power. That narrative doesn't hold up against the facts. It diverts attention from the real, deeply rooted inequalities that still define the country today.
There's us, the Boers. We don't take part in this, and we're not going to. And we're not going to go away. And we're the rightful owners of this land.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And we're the rightful owners of this land. There's a certain amount of people which wants to create a nation of unity. And then there's us, the Boers. We don't take part in this, and we're not going to. And we're not going to go away. And we're the rightful owners of this land. So that doesn't mean we doesn't see the sunshine over other people. Okay, if you go back in history, you would actually see that the Boers have negotiated with the tribal chiefs and the kings, and we have see them as equal, and we have give them their peace. Okay. Now.
Now carry on, we can hear you.
If we want to share one country, we must first accept the realities.
Help me understand something. If we're going to live in the same country, but you don't want unity, how do we do it?
We never wanted unity.
No, I accept what you say. Okay. I accept that. That's what you said.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, then how do we live in one country?
Oh, that's very easy, okay? We can live in this country happily if we have proper borders. So if the Boers have their land, and the Tswanas have their land, and the Zulus have their land, we do not want to mix. Leave Joburg for the cosmopolitans and all this type like
Sounds like apartheid, though.
Yeah, properly, yes.
Okay, all right. Let me hear what my panelists have to say. Mr. Langa?
5 minutes. Why did you give me 30 seconds?
Sit down.
You arrest me.
Yes, only.
These two. This is intimidation.
I'm tired of your black colonization.
Then leave.
Because we are being bullied.
Please leave.
I'm not going because you say I'm going.
I don't care. Please leave. Please leave.
Foreigners are not the problem. We are. Let me say that again. Foreigners are not destroying South Africa. Our failed leaders, our broken economic model, and our silence are. We are chasing Zimbabweans out, while 80% of the land is still owned by white billionaires and apartheid families. We are burning foreign businesses, while Anglo-American and ShopRite send out billions each year. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get hate for it, but I'm going to say it because it's true. Immigrants aren't stealing the jobs, they're taking the ones we won't do. In the shadows of a system built on exploitation. South Africa doesn't have an immigration crisis. It has a justice crisis. Let me be clear, I'm not saying open up the borders wide. I'm saying track movement properly. Register people, set up pan-African trade zones, community assemblies, and stop pretending that a passport defines someone's worth. If you're more angry at the street vendor from Malawi than the billionaire who owns the mall in your township, you're not a patriot, you're a puppet. Africa will not rise until Africans stop fearing each other more.
Are the Afrikaners, which is the white South Africans, are they really the owner of South Africa? Or South African belongs to Africa? South African belongs to the blacks? Who is really the master there? Because from the videos and statistics I saw online, it says that the Afrikaner community, the white people, they have over 75% of the entire lands in South Africa. That most of your landlords are white folks. That you guys are living in houses that don't even belong to South Africans. So the world is really wondering why you are chasing out your black brothers and sisters if you're already going through this kind of a thing. Like it's really surprising because the white people are supposed to be the ones that you eject out of your country. Because if the 75% ownership that they have is really true, that means in no time they are going to take over your country. And you'll be like a stranger, a visitor in your own country. They are the owners of the skyscrapers, all the big buildings, all the beautiful facilities, the malls and the rest. That it is very difficult to see that a black man, a black South African own any of this. And you guys are comfortable living with them, but your own black people, you are chasing them out of the country. So that's why most people are really, they are curious, like, what is actually happening? Do you guys really understand what you are doing? And do you guys really know the future implication of what you are doing? Because you can imagine if these people take over and your land, your motherland, tomorrow you become like a visitor, you become a minority in your motherland. How are you going to feel? So that's why the world is surprised on what is actually happening right now. That's why the world is saying, instead of you instead allow those black people stay in your country. You guys try and build things instead of chasing them out of your country. Or you, South Africa, think of innovative ideas, how you can make your country better, how you can build, how you can make money, instead of thinking the foreigners, Africans, foreigners are your problems. So guys, let me know what you think on the comment section. I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.